Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Monday Morning Quarterback Show. I'm here, Matt Cabral, joined as always with my co-host Sean Olheim. And I'm sorry for the late episode, guys. I know we normally do Sunday episodes recapping it. Just me and Sean have a lot going on. We were pretty exhausted, but don't worry. Still going to give you guys an episode tomorrow and on Thursday as well. But today is just going to be our normal Sunday recap where we're going to recap Week 9. We have the disastrous Monday Night Football game going on right now with the Cardinals and Cowboys. The Cardinals are having their way with Dallas right now with Jacoby Brissett. And we're also going to be doing a little segment in between the Week 9 games where I'm going to be asking Sean 5 teams and seeing if he thinks they are true contenders or pretenders, because we saw a lot of upsets this week, Sean. And I think we're going to get into a lot of those and just discussing about that. But Sean, how you doing today?
I'm good. Excited to be back on here. Day late, but we had quite the week in the NFL this week. We had quite the amount of upsets. So it's certainly going to be fun going over a lot of these. I think we have a lot to talk about today, so it'll be exciting.
Absolutely. So I guess we're just going to get right into this one. And before we get into this, make sure you guys go follow Sean on TikTok and on Twitter and Instagram, all those pages, Buffalo Banter, me on TikTok and on Twitter, Matthew Cabral or Patriot Status. And we kind of had like a little TikTok like shutdown for like a day or two. I don't know if you guys saw that. Sean's personal page did as well. We appreciate you guys for bearing with us there. It was very unexpected, but we're good now. On to the first game, which wasn't an upset. Kind of went how we thought it would. Thursday Night Football, Sean. The Ravens killed Miami 28-6. I guess what are your initial thoughts on this game?
Nothing too special, kind of just really what I expected. I mean, Dolphins are falling apart as we've been seeing recently, and kind of just saw the Ravens offense get rolling again. They got Lamar back. I think that really just helps open up the offense as a whole, just getting Derrick Henry going. Because when Lamar's not in the lineup, you kind of just got to focus on Henry, and if you can shut him down, Tyler Huntley and Zay Flowers or whatever, it's not the toughest offense to face, but having that dual threat between Lamar and Derrick Henry in the backfield is a lot more difficult to game plan against. So we obviously saw Derrick Henry have a much better day today, one of his better games of the year, 120 yards. So
Yep.
I just think their offense as a whole looked a lot better. We saw the usual efficient Lamar where he went 18 for 23, guy had 4 passing touchdowns. Just Ravens got rolling again. Not much to say on the Dolphins side of the ball, but just Ravens might be back.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into another game later on that kind of halted the Ravens' confidence a little bit with a massive upset. But just talking about this game specifically, I guess it just kind of went how I thought it would because okay, Miami, nice win against Atlanta. They were coming off the highest possible that they could be. Like, oh, Tua's back. Like McDaniel's here to stay. And I know Tua's numbers, when you just look at him off rip, 261 and no touchdowns and a pick, doesn't look horrible. He was not good in this game. The offense couldn't get anything going. Devon Achane, again, he's solid. Jalen Waddle, always going to be good for them. But I guess I'm spending a lot of time talking about Miami when the reality is the Ravens, as long as you have Lamar Jackson, you're always going to be there. I mean, he had a great game coming back. He looked amazing, to be quite honest, efficient, 4 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, it just seems to be like Derrick Henry just plays well with Lamar because teams do sell out for the read options with a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. Then you got Cooper Rush, and the only guy they have to worry about running the ball is Derrick Henry. It just opens up the offense, times like 5 with, as good of a running back as Derrick Henry. And he showed that he's still here. He's still a good player. Over 100 yards rushing. Should have gotten in the end zone. He got stuffed at the goal line 2 times, which, doesn't usually happen to him. I guess we are, starting to finally see Derrick Henry regress a little bit, but he's still a great player. And the ball just got spread out completely, just around the offense. And as long as this Ravens team has Lamar, this team's going to be scary, unfortunately. And for Miami side of things, I guess they're sticking with McDaniel, which is really interesting. They want to rat him out. They did fire their GM after this game. Not too sure why he was fired before McDaniel. I feel like he should have just done it at the same time.
Yeah.
But um, then nonetheless, the Ravens took care of business. They look like they're back. Their defense has been playing a lot better lately. Granted, they went against Miami, just who is not really a true NFL team at this point, but the Ravens defense has looked better over the past few weeks. Um, although they are trading some pieces away, and they're also acquiring people, but overall, just kind of went how we expected. Dolphins stink. Ravens with Lamar always going to be a threat. So that's kind of my thoughts on that game, Sean. If you have anything else to add.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say this is like a statement by any means by the Ravens, but I mean everyone expected this, but it's just kind of more just a confidence booster to prove that like, Lamar's back, like they're good to go again. Their offense is probably back.
Mhm.
Dolphins just kind of proved, their usual selves. I don't know why McDaniel is the guy that they're riding with supposedly for the rest of the year, but
Yep.
it's just a disaster. I would be in shambles if I was a Dolphins fan. I would be so mad. I
And
feel for them.
I could see a lot of Dolphins being traded. We already saw one. We're not going to really get into trades today, guys. We're going to, do a full pretty much trade deadline episode tomorrow. But we all saw Jalen Phillips got traded. I think Minka Fitzpatrick could get traded. I think Jordan Brooks could get traded. I think there's a ton of guys on the table for Miami. And rightfully so. I mean, if you want to start your rebuild, you got to start it fast because this team obviously is trending in the worst direction you can be. You're paying your quarterback. I saw this the other day, Sean. I believe if the Dolphins cut Tua, I think they have 100 million in dead cap.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's 99, but yeah.
Yeah, if that happens. And I mean, we all knew that, but like that high. And it's like that kind of just proves that if you can't find a trade partner for him with the way he's playing right now, you're gonna be stuck with him, whether he's on the team or not, with that money for a couple years. And it kind of seems like they're in like the Cleveland Browns situation with Deshaun Watson, but Cleveland at least had a defense to build around. Miami just doesn't have anything to build around at all right now. And I think even Jalen Waddle could get traded. I think everybody's on the table for this Dolphins team to trade. I've even seen, Devon Achane thrown out there. It's not going to happen.
I'd be shocked if he got moved.
I'm just saying, there's a ton of guys on the board for this Miami team, and they need to get rid of these guys. Like Minka Fitzpatrick, like some of these older veteran guys, and just start a full rebuild for a team that desperately needs one. They kind of, I don't know. I feel like Mike McDaniel's there. Like he just like is gonna keep holding out for like this like core that they have. It's like, dude,
They need to reset.
You got to
everywhere.
Give it up. But yeah, Ravens kill the Dolphins. Not too shocking there with Lamar. On to the next game, Sean. My Patriots barely squeak out a win against the Atlanta Falcons and improved to 7-2, 6 wins in a row. I'll let you start with this one, Sean, and then I'll pick up the details after.
Yeah, so I mean, I was just watching Red Zone on Sunday afternoon, so I wasn't watching each of these games like in depth. Saw the Pats got a little bit lucky with a missed extra point from Parker Romo, the guy that they previously cut, which is interesting. But another the way I see it, good teams find ways to win games. The Patriots found a way. Like I mentioned, I didn't watch every single play of the game. You said Drake May played solid in the first half, and then second half wasn't as good. Looked like Penix had a good game on paper, 221 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. But I think the story of this game was Drake London. Yeah. I mean, my God, this guy was torching the Pats defense. 9 catches, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. Didn't matter if you were lining him up on Gonzalez. Like, he was having a field day. Obviously an incredible player. Bijan was their second best guy in the air. On the ground, another game where the Pats held a running back under 50 yards, and doing that against Bijan Robinson is certainly something to be proud of. I thought that, eventually I thought the Pats defense was going to let up a 50-yard rusher, and honestly, I would have predicted it would have been Bijan, especially in a matchup like this, but they held their own, and they forced the Falcons to pass more. Drake London took advantage of that, but if you can't get the run game going, it's tough to get some other things going. So Trayvon Henderson got his first start as well. Not super efficient, but not bad either. Drake May sacked six times. Definitely feeling that Falcons pass rush. Demario Douglas with a great day, obviously. 100 yards and a touchdown.
My boy.
Yeah, I'll let you take it from here because I know you want to
Yeah.
analyze this
So,
one.
um, I just want to get to a few things. So I'll just start with the quarterback, Drake May. I'll talk about both. Michael Penix. Uh, the first couple drives, the Falcons kind of look stiff. And by the way, Zach Robinson, Shaw, we've talked about this. He is a horrendous offensive play caller. It is like,
Yeah.
and like, dude, they're lining up in the pistol, and we obviously know Bijan Robinson's not only one of the best players in the league, but one of the smartest players in the league as well. And they're running play action in the pistol, and Bijan ran to the wrong like side of the fake handoff like multiple times, and the whole play got thrown off. I just think Zach Robinson's a horrendous play caller. I needed to get that out there. But on to Drake, first half, he was unbelievable. I mean, first drive of the game, we drove down like it was nothing. Dime to Pop Douglas for the touchdown. Drove down. Travion Henderson, a couple nice plays. And then for the rest of the first half, the offense looked really good. Drake looked at me. I'm like, Drake's gonna have 400 yards. Like he's gonna have another Drake May game that we've seen. And we're up 21-7. We have the ball towards the end of half, driving down the field, could have a chance to go up 24-7. Drake May takes the snap. Mike Nwenu gets completely beat off a stunt. And it's no excuse for what May did, but he had a terrible game. Mike Nwenu, he's horrible. He hasn't been great in some games this year. And I've been kind of disappointed in him. But Drake tries to stiff arm away a much bigger player in Jalen Walker, and Jalen Walker peanut punches the ball out of his hands. And James Pierce gets a little cocky when he picks up the ball, and Will Campbell catches him. But nonetheless, just a mistake that I feel like was a little overdue for a young player in Drake May. We saw him finally look human after 6 weeks of not. He's been damn near perfect up to then, and just not a smart play from Drake. Just take the sack, live to fight another day, throw the ball away, roll out like you do all the time, and just don't try to stiff arm a rookie that strong and fast and Jalen Walker. I know, Sean, you pointed out the 6 sacks. Wasn't really on the line, to be quite honest with you. A lot of them is just Drake either stepping up in pockets and then taking a sack where like none of the lines really getting beat. It's kind of just, I think he needs to keep his eyes downfield a little bit longer. And that's like one of the few blemishes I would have on Drake this year. And then also, it's just him rolling out in the pocket and running out of bounds. So the offensive line, I thought, had a pretty solid day. I think Will Campbell was unbelievable. Morgan Moses was also really good. And the first half offense was amazing. Terrell Jennings' first career touchdown. He runs with power. And then, we get to the end of the first half, 21-14, massive swing. Could have been 21-7. I mean, 24-7. And you kind of see the Patriots offense start to crumble a little bit. Drake looked a little nervous in the pocket. Missed some throws we haven't really seen him, miss all year. And he had a dime to Diggs. Diggs had an amazing touchdown, by the way. Cardi B was at the game with Robert Kraft. That was interesting. But the Patriots, Sean, like you said, people are really belittling this 6-game win streak, and it's really starting to piss me off because it's like it doesn't matter in the NFL who you play. On any given day, a team could win, and winning 6 in a row, especially beating the Bills, beating the Falcons, beating a really good defense in the Browns, like killing the Browns, beating the Panthers, who just beat Green Bay for God's sakes, and they have some good wins too. Like, you can't take away 6 victories, and they're not all going to be perfect. And the Patriots still found a way to win this game. The teams in the past 3-4 years are 100% crumbling and losing this game. That proves to me the coaching is different, the culture is different, and the team is different. They're a good football team. Not every win's going to be pretty. We see this with the best quarterbacks in the NFL. They have off games. Josh Allen had one against the Pats. Mahomes wasn't great against the Bills. So the Patriots didn't win today because of Drake May. They won because of the team, and it's kind of been vice versa. Drake May has been outstanding. The team picked him up today. Pats found a way to squeak out a dub against Atlanta. And good, like you said, good teams win games like that. Trust me, I was a little nervous. I was pretty frustrated at the effort. They just didn't. They didn't play great, but again, it's a win. And you're on to Tampa Bay next week, and they still hold sole possession of first place in the AFC. So it's all that matters at the end of the day is pulling out a dub against a team where you should, and it doesn't matter how it looks. But so far,
I mean, you also one more thing. Sorry, you mentioned a down day for Drake May. If a down day is 260 yards and 2 touchdowns, I'd say you're in good shape.
Exactly, and also,
obviously there was a pick in there, but
yeah,
that's bound to happen.
Miscommunication, and I could get into that whole route, but we don't really have enough time for that because it's like a whole scheme thing. But just quickly back to the Gonzalez on Drake London thing. It's kind of funny because Gonzalez had a really good game besides the catch that Drake London had over him, which was like a 50-50 ball that could have easily been picked. Like it wasn't like he like had a bunch of separation. London was kind of picking on either a smaller guys, finding spots in zones. Carlton Davis had a bad rep, but Gonzalez had like 3 pass breakups on Drake London in this game. He wasn't perfect. Beginning of the game, he was playing like he kept playing press bail and letting London just get easy catches underneath, which was kind of starting to make me a little angry. After that, Gonzalez started to lock in, and he had his way with London. But Drake London, he's one of the best red zone targets in the NFL. And the Falcons do have a talented team. I don't really know where they go from here because I think their defense is good and their offense is talented. I just don't think they're a well-coached team on either side of the ball, or offensively and head coach. They're just, and we got Raheem Morris making excuses on why they got that intentional grounding. It's like, dude, that's on like your team. It's not on the Pats for clapping. But anyways,
I saw cheating allegations for that too,
yeah,
bro. And someone commented, it's like, the Pats are good again when they're getting cheating allegations.
Yeah, but it's like teams like the reporters were asking Pats players today. They were like, did you guys like know about this? And they were like, I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time I've heard about it. We don't, and they were like Caleb Von Chason said, we're just trying to win fair and play professional football, and that's what I like to hear. So I don't really know what Raheem Morris is talking about, but nonetheless, Pats win. Me and Sean both 2-0 and pick them. On to week 3. Game 3. Chargers barely beat the Titans away, 27-20. Joe Alt done for the year. Just this team can't stay away from the offensive line injuries. But Sean, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that it was this close, if I'm being honest. I mean, Chargers far and away the better football team, if you ask me. But obviously, Herbert 250 in the air, 2 touchdowns, had a brutal pick 6 too. It's not like the Titans' offense was good. I think the Chargers just kept making mistakes on the offensive side of the ball, and obviously the Titans took advantage of that. Herbert was their leading rusher. So
he has the most rushing yards in the NFL this year for quarterbacks, which is pretty interesting.
Is it rushing or scrambling?
I
think it's scrambling.
I think it's just quarterback rushing yards.
I don't know. I heard it was scrambling. It could be either one. This freaking kid, Aranda Gadsden, man.
Yep.
He's looking like a stud for them. Tight end out of Syracuse, late round pick, but he's certainly come on. Not a huge game by any pass catchers specifically. They kind of spread the ball out a lot, but yeah, I was definitely surprised when I was just watching Red Zone and saw that this game was so close. I was like, wow, just not even like the Titans were playing that impressive. I think the Commanders just kind of shot themselves in the foot a few times, but like I mentioned earlier on, good teams find ways to win games like that. So
yep.
Commanders found a way to win over the Titans.
The Chargers.
Yes. Too many teams going on right now.
Not an impressive win by any means. And again, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite for just saying that about the Pats, but the Chargers did not play good this game. And I think the Chargers would admit that. Herbert took 6 sacks again. The offensive line is putrid, to be quite honest with you. They're so hurt. And Sean, to be completely honest with you, like, I don't think this team has a chance without Joe Alt. I really don't. It's that big of a difference. Like, Herbert's getting pressured consistently from that left side when Alt's out, and he's done for the year now. Obviously, Rashawn Slater. I think Mekhi Becton's still hurt. Just an absolute nightmare situation for the Chargers when you're 6-3, you're in a playoff spot right now, but it's like you're somehow trending down because of how hurt you guys are on the offensive line. Their defense is still great. Aroundé Gatson, he's gonna be awesome. Quentin Johnson had a kind of a get back game this game. Herbert had a dimed him in the
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass.
right side of the end zone. And I mean, for the Titans, it's good that you guys are losing, definitely, but like I see zero signs of hope for this team. Like they are just such a terrible team. And who's their coach? Mike McCoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Dude, I see him on the sideline. It's like, dude, that's their head coach. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell that they're horrible, just horribly ran organization.
I don't see, and like I'm waiting for that game where I'm like, because you see moments with Cam Moore, but I'm waiting for that game where I'm like, okay, there he is. This is what it's like. We haven't gotten like a game from Cam Moore yet. Like, he's had moments like first half against the Pats, he was pretty solid. Like, he had a couple nice throws against the Chargers this game, but it's like, and I understand their situation is as bad as you can have. They're receiving,
but
they're receiving
still,
Alec Manor, Van Jefferson, like Gunnar Helm, Chimry. Like, it's so bad. I understand that, but it's like you still want to see flashes from your quarterback. And again, he's been showing it, but you want at least him to put a full 4-quarter performance of good football for at least one game. I'm just a little worried about this Titans. I'm not a little. I'm very worried about this Titans future, this team. I just don't think they really have anything to build around. And they're trading away all their good players on defense as well. Like, and again, rightfully so. Get as many draft picks as you can. You guys are in dumpster fire, but right now, Titans, they're in a tough spot as an organization. Good win for the Chargers, but at what cost is kind of my takeaway from this game. Like, at what cost is this win? Because you're going into next week with no Joe Alt again. He's done for the year, and it's like I'm almost thinking, like, is there any left tackles like in free agency, like old guys just like lingering around? Because like I don't think the Chargers can do it.
Probably be better than what they have right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It just sucks that, like, heading into this year, you're thinking like, okay, we have one of the best offensive lines in football. Like, you have Rashawn Slater, you have Mekhi Becton, you have Joe Alt. Like, it's 3 guys that are like bona fide studs in the NFL. And Becton's been dealing with problems. Obviously, Rashawn Slater was out for the year to start the year, and then now Joe Alt too. It's just horrible situation for them.
Good Lord. They don't need to check the free agent market. Isaiah Wynn's the top guy right now. Pat's legend. It's like, yeah,
jeez,
they're good,
man.
Yeah, the Chargers are in a very tough spot right now, but good win. Still finding ways to win games. But yeah, well, we're actually gonna circle back to the Monday night game. The game just concluded. The Cardinals beat the Cowboys 27-17. Kind of feels like, if it wasn't already over, the Cowboys season is done. I was watching the game, obviously, and just listening to Troy Aikman talk about like the Cowboys defense. It's just like, that's an NFL analyst. Like, that guy played football forever. Like, she's been around football his whole life, and just how poor their defense is, not only with the personnel, but ran as well. I mean, who's their D coordinator? Is it Matt Nagy?
No, it's Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus, not Matt Nagy. Matt Eberflus. It's like they're signing Deron Bland to almost $100 million. He was trash tonight, like trash. You're not signing like Marvin Harrison. He hasn't been great this year, and he looked like one of the best receivers in the league tonight. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's picking on you. It seems like the run game, they're getting consistently 6 yards a carry. Like, just a terrible performance from the Cowboys defense yet again. I mean, have they given up less than 27 points all year? I really don't know. Besides the Commanders,
I don't think so.
When they don't have Jaden Daniels, but
that doesn't count.
I think I think they did have Jaden Daniels that game, but
no, they had Mariota.
No, I think they had Daniels, but they didn't have McLaurin or Debo or anything like that. But like, the point is,
Mariota played at some point that game, though.
Yeah, the point is the Cowboys defense is so bad, and Like this comment right here, like you're letting Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, if Jacoby Brissett's picking you apart, you got serious problems if you didn't already
Exactly.
see the problems before.
The secondary's trash. They have zero. Their pass rush is Jadeveon Clowney and like Donovan Ezeraku, who I like his upside. He's probably their most,
He had a sack tonight.
yeah, he has their most upside. Kenny Clark's done nothing. Just a terrible defense. And then Jerry Jones coming out saying he wants to trade for a defensive player. Don't understand that at all.
I mean, apparently they made a trade, but
Yeah,
he
exactly.
won't announce what the trade is.
Yeah,
So
it's like, dude,
apparently addressed one of their shortcomings. So I don't know. I saw that, and then I think he was talking to Stephen A. Smith, and he was just like, I think it was like a report from Bleacher Reporter. I saw it on Instagram or something, and he told Stephen A. Smith that he intentionally like does certain things to like get attention on the Cowboys. Like he does that stuff on purpose. Like whenever people think that he's like doing certain things to like bring more buzz around them, they're right. Like he's trying to do that. Like it's such a bad situation.
There's no buzz around the Cowboys anymore. Like this isn't the 1980s, 1990s anymore. Like I don't want to say they need a full reset because they have a good offense, but like it's kind of like the Bengals. You have Dak, CeeDee, Pickens, and then Javante's been pretty good. And then that's pretty much it. The defense,
They're the Bengals of the NFC.
That defense, Sean, it's like it's years away from being competitive again. Like it's bad. It's really bad. And they gave up. I mean, they had this one player on their defense that like they had this one guy on their defense that like could have.
And he was like a position that they want right now. Too.
Yeah. He like could have helped like build like I'm not saying this guy would like solve every problem because he obviously wouldn't. But, like he could have helped build like a future, but
yeah, what was his name? Like
I don't really remember what
was
his
that
name.
Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
I think it was Michael something.
Oh yeah, and then Jerry Jones is coming out saying he wants to. Dude, I can't wait for the trade tomorrow to be for like some like mediocre edge rusher, and it's like whatever. Like, by the way, like, how do you get to like? How does a trade? I've never seen that. Like, how do you not announce? How is there a trade that's not?
I don't know how that's even allowed.
Like, how does
I feel like if you make a trade, you have to announce it to the league. No.
Like I'm watching Michael Irvin right now. He does not look too happy, but yeah, exactly. Like, how did Jerry Jones convince the other GM to be like, all right, let's keep this quiet?
Yeah, let's keep it. I mean, if it's Jerry Jones doing the trade, it's probably not a good trade. So he probably doesn't want to. Yeah, he probably wants to keep it on the down low as long as possible.
Yeah. But Cowboys disastrous. Cardinals nice win. Kyler, did you know Kyler was healthy tonight? By the way.
Yeah, I mean, it said he was questionable, but Brissett was playing.
He didn't dress, but I think if this was like a big game, I think Kyler like would have been able to. But I think they just want to ride with Brissett. He's just been better.
Matt, call me crazy. Brissett is better for that offense.
He's Marvin Harrison's looked better. Trey McBride's looked way better.
I don't know. I'm seeing more out of Brissett than Murray, and
Kyler Murray's gonna get traded.
I don't like Kyler Murray in the least bit, so this might just be a little bit of bias. But bro, Brissett has genuinely been better for that offense.
Dude, they almost beat the Packers. They played a team competitive before that. I don't remember who it was, and then they just beat Dallas, which is like, all right, like, but it's in Dallas, like,
yeah.
I mean, like Brissett's doing a good job. Like, I mean, as a Pats fan, watching him last year, I didn't know if he could throw for over 200 yards in a game ever in his life because he didn't do it like once last year, but he's doing a good job. I think Kyler's going to get traded in the offseason. Probably going to be like a Steeler or something because they just can't rebuild or draft a quarterback. But the Cowboys are so bad, so poorly coached too. Like it's on defense. It's just a bad team. Yep. That side of the ball. Cardinals get the win. They're 3-5. And their Cardinals defense quietly is really, really fun. And they got Walter Nolan back. Like the Cardinals defense they're going to be good for a long time. I think they got some good young players back there. And I really
Johnson, if he could stay healthy.
Exactly. I really like Mac Wilson, their middle linebacker. He was a Patriot before. I wish the Pats would look at trading for him. I love that guy. He's a leader, physical player, good player, but that's a conversation for tomorrow. Next game, maybe the game of the year. The Bears and the Bengals. I mean, could this game have gone more like we described it, Sean?
No. I mean,
Just two
just
horrible. Talk
em-
about bad defenses.
embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing that the Bengals dropped that one. Absolutely embarrassing. When you have your star players, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown. I don't know if I'd call Chase Brown like a star, but like you're good players.
Yeah,
When you have your key guys on offense coming out after the game saying like, Jamar's walking in the tunnel saying one effing stop, and then Chase Brown is, you know, saying that in interviews and stuff too. It's like, man, like you got to do something, bro. Like, and now they're talking about trading Trey Hendrickson, which if he gets moved, that's just going to make it even worse. I mean, they gave up 47 points to the Bears. Like, obviously, Monangai was eating up that defense. Colson Loveland finally had his breakout game. They actually decided to use their first round pick for the first time, so that's nice to see halfway through the season.
yeah.
I mean, just absolutely brutal. Flacco threw for 470. I mean, just
I know.
like I don't know, man. It's just absolutely brutal for the Bengals. They
Sean, you know what this shows me? If Burrow was back, they're still losing. Like this
Oh
doesn't
yeah, no doubt.
like this isn't
They
helping.
experienced it last year.
Joe Flacco threw for 470 yards, dude. Like they're not winning games with Joe Burrow, like because of that. Like it's just
Yeah.
not like we just talked about the Cowboys defense being bad, and it is, but the Bengals defense is worse. It's they can't.
I don't know who's worse, honestly.
Did you see the Colson Loveland touchdown?
Oh,
How
yeah.
do you not make an open field tackle with two guys on him? Like it's not like he's it's mind boggling.
Then there was a third guy that he ran by, I'm pretty sure.
The Bengals scored 14 points in what, like 15 seconds, and then they go up, and then you're like, okay, like as a Bengals fan, we might be able to win this game. Maybe can sneak, compete for the division. No, Bears drive down in like 2 plays. Colson Loveland like a 65-yard touchdown or something like that. Just like you couldn't have drawn it up. And by the way, the Bears, you're not getting away with this either because your defense is bad, very bad.
Don't think we didn't notice that.
No, it's really bad. Like Caleb had a nice game, kind of stat padded at the end. Like before that, he had like 220 and like 2 touchdowns. Like a decent game. Still not super efficient. Again, like
No.
I don't think he's ever gonna be a very efficient, like accurate passer. I mean,
Which is funny because Ben Johnson wanted him to complete 75% before the season.
it's
So
not happening. Like you can kiss that goodbye. Caleb Williams also had 2 catches for 22 yards and a touchdown, by the way. Yeah, Monangai, he's looking like a solid young player. He's exciting. He's slowly but surely taking over that backfield away from DeAndre Swift. I know Swift didn't play, but yeah, just the Bears, good win, especially with how their division panned out, which we'll get into in a little bit, just with all the other games. Definitely a good win for playoff implications, but man, that defense is also really, really bad too. And this Bengals offense can move the ball. I mean, you have 2 receivers over 100 yards. T. Higgins, what a game, by the way. Oh my God, he had some unbelievable catches.
Oh yeah,
like what a game. Andre Yosivas like had like a decent game. He's a terrible player, by the way. He's really bad. Bengals fans like to clown on him. Jamar Chase again. But just what else do you do as a Bengals like what do you say offensively as like as like the Bengals? Like you scored 40.
You can't do anything more, bro.
42 points, you lost. You scored 38 points, you lost. Like how does that happen? You scored 42 points and you lose.
I don't
like if that happens once, it's like okay, like it happened with the Bills against the Rams. Like it's like whatever.
Bro, if it happens once, it's whatever. But it literally happens every single week. It's been happening since last year.
Yeah.
Like it's a problem that happened last year, and they didn't address it in the offseason.
Dude,
like they didn't. I mean, they kind of did in the draft, but like Shamar Stewart, he hasn't done anything. Like I don't know. It's just
no.
It's just embarrassing.
You reminded me of that Shamar Stewart, maybe the worst first round pick, like in like the last like couple of years. Like I understand he scored perfectly on his like athletic score, but it's like
he didn't have good numbers in college either.
Dude, he had 1.5 sacks, 2 years. Like
that's the most Bengals pick though. Like that just makes sense.
Yeah, dude. Like the guy held out. Like that guy, I don't think is ever gonna be productive. Like he's like, I think he's like one of the worst like players in the NFL this year. Like period. I think he has 1 pressure. Oh, Will Campbell has like I think the same amount of tackles as Shamar Stewart. One. I think I
I
saw
think
that.
that's actually true.
Yeah, I saw that stat. He's just been invisible and just like you like everyone like the default answer and thing to say about the Bengals is okay, just draft defense. But it's
They
like no,
are.
they can't.
Well, they're trying to. They can, but it's not
No,
working.
no. I'm saying like they like can't develop them is what
No,
I mean.
yeah, I know what
Like,
you're saying. Yeah,
yeah, it's just been horrendous to watch. But Bears win 47-42. Don't know how, but it's the Bengals, so I'm not
because it's
surprised.
the Bengals. That's why.
What a weird game. But on to the next game, another huge upset. Uh the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the red hot Indianapolis Colts at home 27-20. Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Steelers kind of gave the blueprint to shutting down the Colts. If you can slow down Jonathan Taylor, that offense doesn't really that offense can't really do much. 5 turnovers, just haven't really seen the Steelers defense play like that. And man, they had the Colts offense struggling today, or that game, I guess I should say. Daniel Jones had 340 yards, but I mean, obviously he was playing down the whole game, so they were just forced to pass the ball.
Yep.
Threw 3 picks though. Just I don't know. I'm not sold on the Colts. They're 7-1, but
7-2 now.
7-2, right? Sorry. I don't know. They're 7-2 and they look promising, but like they they really got exposed yesterday. They got it, like I already mentioned, it was proven that if you can shut down Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, um, Daniel Jones can't really be relied on to win you the game.
No. I was watching a podcast with a Steelers fan earlier today, and he said this game felt like the Patriots game where he doesn't think Pittsburgh outplayed them. He just thinks that the Colts just beat them, just shot themselves in the foot, like with the Pats game against the Steelers. Pats were consistently driving the ball into Pittsburgh's territory and then just turning the ball over, whether it was a fumble or a pick. It kind of was the same thing here. Daniel Jones, I'm not gonna overreact too much because he's been good for 8 out of 9 weeks, pretty much, but he did not look good today. He made some pretty poor decisions. He had a really bad interception on a deflected pass that Jack Sawyer picked off. And I know Jonathan Taylor didn't have like that game that everyone thought he was going to, but again, the Colts were forced to pass like pretty much the entire game after they went up 7-0.
Even on Taylor's touches, though, he wasn't great. Like 45 yards on 14 carries. It's just not efficient.
The Steelers front was really good today. Cam Hayward and TJ Watt they looked really good. Pittsburgh's run game is atrocious, by the way. Like it's so bad. Their offensive line has not been good this year. And DK Metcalf has been underwhelming to say the least for this team. I mean, 2 catches for 6 yards. This is a very obviously we know it's a very very tight end heavy team. They're 13 personnel a lot. They target Darnell Washington, and we all thought DK is going to be the red zone target, but it's like when you're using 3 tight ends with guys like Darnell Washington and Jonnu Smith, just massive human beings. That's their guys in the red zone. Like I've been watching a lot of the Steelers. You don't really see a lot of like these like fades to DK that we really expect them to do. With a guy like that, it's just more of targeting Darnell Washington and hoping he can just be
basically an offensive lineman, bro.
Exactly. The guy's huge, or targeting Pat Fryermuth. And just but again, good win for Pittsburgh, especially with Baltimore ascending again. And you know, you still got a 2-game lead on them. You beat one of the best teams in the NFL. And I know I see it right here. Pittsburgh. I think he's talking about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's schedule is brutal coming up, but nonetheless,
Colts too. The Colts' next 5 games are very tough. This could be a stretch where we see the Colts start to come back down to earth a little bit.
Pittsburgh's isn't that tough.
I think you're talking about the Colts. Yeah. Colts play Falcons, Chiefs, Texans, Jags, Seahawks, and 49ers.
Yeah, so
it's a bunch of tough games.
Exactly.
I could definitely see them out of those 6 games losing at least 3.
Yeah, but again, don't want to take anything away. Good win from Pittsburgh. The defense looked better. Kyle Duggar had a pretty big impact in his first game. Mike Tomlin gave him a game ball. And just, a a very undisciplined game, I should say, from Daniel Jones and the Colts, which we haven't seen pretty much all year. Alec Pierce had a really good game. Michael Pittman had a good game as well. He took a really big hit and still held onto the ball. But, good win for Pittsburgh. Indianapolis, don't panic yet. In Pittsburgh is always a tough place to play, but,
don't panic yet, but if you start to struggle against some of these good teams, I'd be a little bit nervous.
Exactly. A loss is a loss. So, next game up, the San Francisco 49ers beat the New York Giants 34-24. And this score is a little misleading because the Giants scored like a couple like junk touchdowns. Like the Niners controlled this game from the start. Mac Jones had a really, really efficient game. And Sean, I'll let you start on this one.
Yeah, no, like you said, good game from Mac Jones. Just got the job done. Another huge game out of McCaffrey. Not too efficient on the ground on 28 carries. You'd hope for a little bit more than 106 yards, but that's kind of been the story of him on the ground this year, I feel like. But as a receiver, he's just been a freak. I mean, 5 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Great day. I mean, yeah, not much to say here. I think Dart could use a little bit more help. I think losing Scatterbo and Neighbors is certainly hurting him. And you have to rely on Darius Slayton to be your number 1 pass catcher. I wouldn't be too thrilled about that, but it seems like he's found his favorite red zone target in Theo Johnson, though. I think he's finding him in the end zone a lot. So, yeah, not much to say here. Just 49ers took care of business. Giants with another loss.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Jackson Dart, he gives the team hope, for the future. And this Giants team, they have a lot of work to do this offseason. And I think if they have, a good offseason, this team can be headed in the right direction. As long as you have, Malik Neighbors and Jackson Dart. And if Cam Scatterbo's healthy, that's a good start. But I think Brian Dable's got to go, dude. I don't think he's the guy over there. And I think a lot of Giants fans would agree with me. I don't think Brian Dable is a good head coach, really. I think he has good moments, and I think he's good for the players. But I think he's more of an offensive-minded guy.
Feels the same as McDaniel.
Exactly. And I think he's definitely a little bit more of a leader than McDaniel. But
right.
You see with all this talent on defense, all this great personnel, I mean, their defense struggles, dude. I mean, like you have Bobby Okereke, you have Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence. Like you even have good players in the secondary, and you have Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, I mean, this is a pretty solid defense on paper, and it just consistently it hasn't been good. The Broncos game, it was horrible in the fourth quarter, not clutch. This game, they were horrible. Mac Jones is picking them apart. And like I said, the Giants, this season's obviously over. But nonetheless, I think you could finally have something to build around because I do think Dart has promise. I don't think he's perfect by any means. I think he has a lot to work on. I think he needs to be better in the pocket. But he's been pretty accurate. He's a threat on the ground. And man, oh man, they need Malik Neighbors healthy because their receiving core is terrible. But McCaffrey is still one of the best players in the NFL. That 49ers defense, like I said in the prediction, they're going to give the Giants some problems, and they did until the end of the game. Like I said, junk touchdowns from the Giants, but a good win for the Niners. Michael Williams out for the year. That sucks.
Yeah, brutal.
They can't stay away from injuries. It's like it's really.
I feel bad for them.
I agree.
I think it's funny that they can't stay away from injuries and somehow CMC is still healthy. Like mentioned on this comment, not getting hurt. The guy has touches on, I'm pretty sure like it was like 48% of the offensive snaps, which is just insane.
Especially when you have Mac too and you have no receivers. It's checkdowns like every other play. It feels like it's like
he's their best playmaker on offense. So you got to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah, they are so decimated on defense. I mean, It's again another MetLife injury, Sean. I mean, it's real. We saw it with Neighbors like
It
this year
is. It
with Micah
definitely is.
Williams. Like it's real. Unfortunate for the rookie who definitely was showing some promise, but good win for the Niners. They're somehow still hanging around with, by like a little, piece of floss, but good win for the Niners. Okay. Before we get into the next game, we're going to do a little segment here that I like to call Contender or Pretender. And so I'm going to give Sean 5 teams, and I'm going to ask him if he thinks these teams are true contenders or pretenders. And
Have not heard the teams yet.
I know, of course not. It's a natural reaction. We're going to get into the rest of the games after this. Don't you guys worry. We still have a couple more games to get to. My first team for you, Sean, the Denver Broncos.
I think they're legit, man. That defense is nasty. I mean, not that the Texans' offense is super overpowering. We haven't gotten to that game yet, but they held them to a, very limited offense. I think their defensive line is incredible. Benito, Jonathan Cooper, John Franklin Myers, Zach Allen. The defensive front's incredible. They got Dre Greenlaw at middle linebacker. Obviously Hufanga in the secondary. They got Surtain. Their defense is insane. I would like to see a little bit more consistency out of their offense because I do think that their offense kind of waits until their back is up against the wall to really kind of start playing. And I don't think that's a reason, or I don't think that's a way to kind of sustain success, especially if you want to be, if you want to make a playoff run. But it feels like it later in games, they kind of start to let Bo Nix kind of like unleash and kind of do his thing. I think if they let him do that earlier in the game, then they're going to have a lot better offensive performances as a whole. But this Broncos team is good. I think they're legit.
Next team up, the Green Bay Packers.
I don't know what to think of them.
It's tough.
1 week they look great. They dominate the Steelers, and then the next week they lose to the Panthers at home. This is a tough one.
I know. Again, natural reactions, guys. Like we're not.
I know.
We're not scripting this or anything.
My God. I think they're contenders. I think that their offense is good enough. They have Jacobs. Jordan Love just needs to be more consistent. Feels like some games he absolutely explodes, and there's some games like yesterday where he looks horrible. I mean,
yeah,
literally in the red zone. I think he was in the red zone at this point, but I mean, he literally like chucked the ball right to a Panthers guy, and somehow he dropped it. Not sure how.
Yeah, Mike Jackson.
Yeah, not sure how he dropped that, but
another thing too.
I think their defense is really good too, though.
It is, but another thing too is they just have players sometimes that don't show up in big games. We'll get into this when we talk about the that game specifically. But Micah Parsons had 0 pressure.
Yeah, he didn't have a pressure yesterday.
He had a terrible game, but I agree. I'd still say the Packers are contenders, but they're
on the line.
Next team up, the Indianapolis Colts.
Pretenders. I don't think that they're. I think they're the Vikings of last year. I think that.
Sorry, guys.
I think that they're having a quarterback who's having a bit of a resurgence on a new team. I think that they're outperforming their true abilities. I think if Jonathan Taylor kind of puts the team on his back, he could take them on a bit of a run. But I've already mentioned this. If you can stop Jonathan Taylor, I don't think that offense is really anything special outside of him. Mm-hmm. Their offensive line is good too, obviously, but I don't know. I don't see Daniel Jones leading a team past maybe the divisional round. Like maybe they win a wild card game.
Yeah,
if they don't get the first seed.
I don't think they're built for the playoffs yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see. I don't see Daniel Jones leading them past a divisional game.
Next team up, my New England Patriots.
If we're talking a Super Bowl, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. However, I'm not putting them in that category yet, but they're definitely on the rise. Maybe they prove me wrong in the playoffs. That defense is obviously elite.
Yeah.
Haven't allowed a 50-yard rusher yet against some of the best running backs in the NFL. I don't know. I don't I don't see Super Bowl contender in them just yet. I'm not gonna say they're a pretender. They're kind of just on the line for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have a great record. Um, I don't know. They beat in the Bills, obviously. They beat the Falcons, two good teams, but I'm not gonna say they're like a Super Bowl contender just yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that I agree. I think they're right on the line right now, but I think if they beat Tampa Bay next week, I think you really got to start considering it, man. I really do, but I think they're really close. Just it's again, it's Sean. All you know this obviously with your quarterback. I know from the past with Tom Brady, it's all about the quarterback and the way Drake May's playing right now. Anything can happen.
Yep.
Last team up. This one might be interesting. The Detroit Lions.
They're still contenders, but just because of how talented they are. I mean, they have one of the best offenses in the NFL, obviously.
Their O
Um,
line is not the same though, dude. It's not the same.
no, I know. But I mean, you still got all your core guys.
Yeah.
If Goff can figure it out in the playoffs and kind of take them on a run, I think they can be a Super Bowl team. But I still think they're contenders. Need to see a little bit more out of the defense. I think letting JJ McCarthy do what he did yesterday is a little bit concerning, but
Yeah.
obviously still dealing with some injuries there too, like they do every year. But they do have Hutchinson back, which will help them a lot in the playoffs this year. So I still have them as contenders. They're still one of the best teams in the NFL.
Okay, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the contenders or pretenders segment. I pretty much agree with Sean on all of them. I'm still not. I don't know. I don't think Denver can win a Super Bowl with Bo Nix at the quarterback position. That's just my take on it. And I know I was kind of up in the air with him and Purdy. That was more like a recency bias thing where Purdy really hasn't played lately. But I mean, I just like Sean said, unless their backs are against the wall, Bo Nix just has been. He was, and that's actually going to lead us into our next game, Denver at Houston. Again, when you take wins in football, Bo Nix sucked. He was not good. He was super inefficient this game. I got to check what he went here.
He started the game 0 for 7.
18 of 37, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. They went against Davis Mills. CJ Stroud went down. Super unfortunate, by the way, with the concussion. You don't want to see that ever from anybody. But this Denver offense it doesn't scare me. It doesn't. And I know they've had some great clutch wins. I'm not taking anything away from that. Their defense is awesome, maybe the best in the league. But I just don't think Bo Nix is going to lead this team to where they want to go. I don't think he's there yet. And I've been telling Sean this for a while. I think Bo Nix has kind of already peaked, to be quite honest with you. He's obviously older. I think he just kind of is who he is. I think he's going to be an average to above average quarterback at times. At times he's going to look good behind, a great offensive line. Again, not great weapons. And the run game is kind of up and down. But I just kind of think Bo Nix is who he is, and he's going to be a little bit more than a game manager. But at times he's going to have games like this where he's trying to stretch the ball. Like he had one really bad interception. He had a clear lane. I think it was Marvin Mims. No, it wasn't. I think it was Troy Franklin to hit him for a big gain. Kind of floated it in the air, and Derek Stingley had a lot of time to get over there. And again, Denver, good win. I'm not taking anything away. Houston's defense is elite, but I don't think Bo Nix is ever going to lead them to the Super Bowl or to where they want to be, or at least this year. He could prove me wrong. I don't see it. But good win for Denver. They're up 2 games in the Chiefs now in the AFC West. But yeah,
I know what you're saying about Bo Nix, and if they were to be a contender and kind of make a run, it wouldn't be because of him. It would be because of how good their defense is.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I was trying to get at when I was calling them contenders.
Yep.
Like that defense is elite. Like they don't have a weak spot.
No, it's
when Surtain is there, they don't have a weak spot. Even their corners aren't bad when he's gone. But obviously, like when he's there,
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
one of the best players in the NFL. So if they were to go, somewhat deep in the playoffs, it would be their defense. I don't think it would be because of Nix.
Yeah, he'd be like the 4th reason probably, but
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Sean Payton's been perfect this year either, but nonetheless, good win for Denver, 7-2. You're winning games. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. Like, you're winning games. It's all that matters at the end of the day. They've also won 6 in a row. Um, Not really much to say about Houston. Davis Mills just looked like Davis Mills, painfully average, and the
No
offense.
run game.
No, the offense looks static again. But Denver 6 in a row. You'll take it any day of the week. On to the next game. We have the Minnesota Vikings defeating the Detroit Lions at Ford Field 27-24. Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't impressed with McCarthy at all watching this game, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, first
Um,
first quarter he was good. First quarter he was good.
yeah, first quarter he was solid. He was efficient, getting the job done, but I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch this game and was like, yeah, McCarthy's the answer. I mean, he got them the win, but in the air, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Um, Aaron Jones had a good game,
Yeah.
super efficient on the ground. Actually, well, he had a long of 31. Outside of that, decent, but I mean, their leading receiver was Addison with only 48 yards. I just feel like this offense has so much potential to be explosive with guys like Jefferson and Addison, and I don't think McCarthy brings that like explosive like potential offense.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Goff had a solid game, 284 and 2 touchdowns. Gibbs was silent on the ground. I mean, the Vikings did a really good job stopping the Lions' run game. Laporta and Amon-Ra both had great games. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love McCarthy, but it was a nice win against a Lions team in Detroit. Obviously, that's going to help his confidence, help the Vikings' confidence as a whole as well.
Yeah, and I don't want to pick on McCarthy too much. And I don't outside of the first, quarter, I don't think he was great in this game. First game back from injury. I think he gives at least the Vikings offense a floor. I don't think, I think he's gonna make mistakes at times, but I think he's also going to make some plays where you're like, okay, like, we can work with this. And that's kind of what I think JJ McCarthy, you're kind of hoping JJ McCarthy could be, at least in year one. And that's a huge win for Minnesota, by the way, especially in Detroit. It's like, you were not supposed to win that game. And we obviously didn't pick them to win that game. I don't think many people did, but really, really good win for Minnesota. The defense looked really good today. Brian Flores. I know the score was a 3-point game. Minnesota controlled this whole game. If you guys really watched, they looked like the better team today. Um, and Amon-Ra had a really bad drop in the end zone. By the way, I don't know if you saw that, Sean. Very,
I
very,
did see that. Yeah.
very like rare of him to do something like that. But good win for the Vikings. JJ McCarthy. Maybe he can build from here and just keep improving. But you're gonna need him to be thrown for more than 150 yards a game to succeed. But really good win for Minnesota. Keeps you alive in the playoff race.
Yeah, where I'm at with McCarthy, I don't see him being more than a game manager, really. He just doesn't provide like a very high ceiling, I feel like. Maybe he'll prove me wrong as he starts to develop more, but I
Yeah,
know he's had a tough start to his career, but I'm not seeing that super high ceiling yet.
I agree. On to the next game. Maybe the biggest upset of the year. Carolina goes into Lambeau and beats Green Bay 16-13 when the Green Bay was favored by 15 points. I mean, we kind of talked about it, Sean. Just a horrendous loss for the Packers. Like Bryce Young, 102 yards and a pick. Rico Dowdle he's just a really, really good running back. We could kind
Rico
of
Dowdle needs to be their one.
no,
No
he is
excuse.
no, he is now. They didn't bench him, but they reduced his role. Um,
Yeah.
and Rico Dowdle is going to get paid this offseason. He's a free agent. Um, Green Bay, Love didn't play as bad as the box score shows, and he led them to the red zone a lot, but it's like, got to be finishing drives against the Panthers defense, dude. Like, and
Yep.
you're at home, like, there's zero excuse. This was an embarrassing loss. Matt LaFleur, people want him fired. They don't think he's a good coach. I'm kind of starting to be on board with that, Sean. They run the ball way too much, and a lot of Packers fans are starting to really complain about it. They don't like his play calling. He's supposed to be this offensive genius, and just Carolina, good win. I mean, they're finding ways, but
How the hell are the Panthers 5-4?
dude, they're
This
like
is not a winning team. I mean, yeah, kind of like that comment
that
says.
proves it right here. Yeah, like
But like,
that's crazy.
how the hell are they a 5-4 team? I don't see it.
I mean, when
Maybe I'm biased because I saw the Bills absolutely put belt to them.
and the Pats when I watched,
Yeah, right. It's just like I don't know. Some weeks they look good. Like they beat the Falcons by 30. They just beat the Packers. And then it's some weeks they're just like, oh my God, this
I
team
don't even
sucks.
I don't even think but like, is Carolina scaring anybody at
No,
5-4?
no, but like it's like they're winning games. Like
Exactly.
how?
I don't know how. Like
It's not
that's
like Bryce Young's been impressive.
no, that's like such a Bryce Young game, dude. Like 100
Yeah.
yards and a pick. It's just like he is so far from the reason this team's winning. It's been either the defense. The defense has improved drastically this year. I have to give it to them. I thought they were going to be one of the worst defenses in the league again, but they have actually been pretty solid this year, especially. I
Yeah, I
mean,
just think Dowdle's providing like such a huge spark for them.
he's been awesome. I mean, what a spark plug that he was. No one thought Rico Dowdle was going to be this good.
Yeah.
Um, especially behind Chuba Hubbard, but really good win for the Panthers. And I can't say it enough. Embarrassing loss for the Packers, who had a chance to take a huge lead in the NFC North. Just inexcusable loss to just a much inferior opponent. Micah Parsons invisible against this Panthers offensive line. And again, the Packers defense was good. They literally besides the run defense against Dowdle, but he's kind of been doing that against everybody. The Packers just like nothing really more to say. Embarrassing loss. But on to the next game. We got the Jaguars beating the Raiders 30-29 in overtime. I mean, if I could have described how the game would have gone, it literally would have been this right here. Raiders lose on a just embarrassing 2-point conversion attempt. Geno Smith, 4 touchdowns, played solid. You always gotta add that pick in there for Geno.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Can't be a Geno game without a pick. Trevor Lawrence, like I'm sorry, Trevor Lawrence is so mediocre. So mediocre, dude.
He's not good.
Like I think we can give up on the number 1 overall. Like, oh no, one day he'll hit. Like Trevor Lawrence is so mid. Like they did not win this game because of Trevor Lawrence. I promise you. Travis Etienne had a nice game. And I will say Lawrence receivers were hurt today. Brian Thomas got hurt. Travis Hunter, obviously IR. But I don't really know how Jacksonville won this game, to be honest with you. I guess it's just because the Raiders are just not good. But I mean, Brock Bowers is the best tight end in the league. You could argue he was awesome. Just a class. This is kind of how I expected it to go. Just a random high offensive scoring game, and the Raiders lose on a complete just botch of a 2-point conversion attempt.
Man, I'm really disappointed with Genty, man.
Yeah.
He has not lived up to the hype. I mean,
unfortunately,
one of the most impressive seasons we saw out of a college running back last year.
Yeah.
But man, he's been disappointing as a number 6 overall pick. 13 carries for 42 yards. I feel like that's a stat line every time I look at a Raiders game. Like it literally feels like exactly that every time.
I
don't know. I'm not seeing it.
I know people talk about the O-line, and it obviously plays a factor, but it's like, dude, with a prospect that high, like highly drafted, like you should like Saquon Barkley was drafted to the Giants. Their offensive line was not good, and he was one of the best rookie running backs we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ashton Genty, he just doesn't look like explosive to me. Like his vision isn't great. Like I'm not completely out on Genty yet, but as the rookie you wanted him to be, he's been underwhelming.
Yeah, it felt like at Boise State every time he touched the ball, he was running for like a 60-yard touchdown. I don't think it feels like we haven't seen him run for an explosive play yet.
But just a classic Chargers Raiders. Chargers Raiders. Getting tired here, guys. It's late.
Too many games going on, man.
Jags Raiders game. Jags win 30-29. Pete Carroll was in disgust after that 2-point attempt, Sean. Not too sure if you saw that.
Don't blame him.
On to the next game. Don't really need to talk about this one that much. The Rams killed the Saints 34-10. I'm not too sure why Tyler Shuck is playing.
Yeah, this has to be up there with most irrelevant game of the year.
Yeah, it's just like the Rams way better. I mean, Kyron Williams had a great game. Again, Tyler Shuck, like so painfully boring. And like I watched that game, actually, some of it.
And so not the problem.
And I was gonna say, I watched some of that game
Or Rattler.
and I'm like, this is exactly who I picture Tyler Shuck to be. like obviously, like nothing, no hard feelings towards Tyler Shuck. Like I want the guy to succeed, former Louisville Cardinal, but it's like Kellen Moore, like I promise you, if Spencer Rattler played this game, it would have been a little more competitive. It's not on him, but you gotta play your 40th overall pick, and Matthew Stafford continues his MVP chase.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Matt, we gotta talk about Stafford being an MVP
He's
candidate.
been amazing this year. Puka healthy again, another huge game, like 7 for 95 and a touchdown.
Yep.
Kind of just feels. I mean, Sean, this is our word. It feels inevitable when Puka gets that. I mean, it's just like, okay, Puka, another good game, nice. Like,
I mean, has Puka ever had a game where he doesn't go for at least 80 yards? Seriously,
seem like it, or at least like 7 catches. Like, I mean, that's like a low targeted game from him. It feels like Kyron had a good game. Matt Stafford, like you said, MVP candidate. The same Demario Davis, by the way, I'm just looking at the box score, 13 tackles. He's like 40 years old. Shout out to him for keeping it up. But the Saints are going to sell. I think Sheed's gone. I think Olave might be gone. I think they could trade some of their defensive guys like Chase
they
Young.
should.
Really good question here. Really, really good question. Actually, it's one I might need to think on. I don't want to get clipped on this because like it's tough, but who am I taking? Like they're both playing at their peak. I feel like the Rams are a scarier team. It's just offensively because obviously the Eagles defense is better, but the Rams just traded for Roger McCreary. He's a pretty good cornerback. And that's kind of been their biggest weakness. I mean, I think I'm going with the Rams by a smidge. I just think they scare me a little bit more on offense, but we're spending way too much on much time on this game. Saints trash, Rams really good. I'm gonna save the doozy for last, so we're gonna go to Sunday Night Football and just quickly gloss over that blowout by the Seahawks over the Commanders. I mean, what a game by Sam Darnold in the first half. And I want to make this point. Before I say it, Jaden Daniels, like that was one of the most gruesome things.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
And just to a player, because you want that guy to be the face of your league one day, or one of the faces of your league one day. But can we just be honest about something here? And I've been saying this, and Sean has too. Like, the only talking point on this game is Jaden Daniels' injury, but can we just talk about how bad the Commanders, like, they're just not good. Jaden Daniels wasn't that good in this game. I'm sorry, he wasn't. And the Commanders just aren't that good of a team, dude. Like,
I think even if he plays a full year with McLaurin, I mean, maybe they have one more win at this point, but
they're just
not a good team.
Defense is so bad, dude. They're giving up touchdowns. JSN didn't even, I mean, he had 8 for 129, huge game again, but he wasn't even the one scoring. I mean, this Commanders team they're not in a good spot, especially if Daniels is going to be hurt, maybe even going into next year. Because my God, that injury was bad. And prayers up to him. That was awful to watch, but just an absolutely terrible performance from them as a whole. And people are blaming Dan Quinn for having Daniels in, and I definitely understand that.
I do.
Yeah. But like, no, I feel like no one would be talking about that if the injury didn't happen. But I mean, obviously, on Monday morning.
Obviously, yeah.
Like, but like, nonetheless, Commanders are in a horrible spot right now, especially if Daniels is hurt. I think they might have just been like a flash in the pan, Sean, like 1 year wonder last year. Not Daniels. I think
it was a Cinderella run, bro.
Daniels will still be a good player, but the team is it's not good. And
Seahawks?
No, yeah. Seahawks, on the other hand, I was just gonna say they're good. They're
Sam Darnold, MVP candidate.
3 incompletions. Yeah,
he's playing some damn good football.
I just need to see it in the clutch, Sean. That's all I need to see.
That's fair.
But JSN is maybe the best receiver in the league. Their run game is terrible still. Like, kind of worries me a little bit. But Seahawks really good. exceeding a lot of people's expectations this year. Washington kind of heading in the wrong direction, and again, just prayers up to Jane Daniels. Just a horrible injury. Um, On to the final game of the week. The Bills once again beat the Chiefs in the regular season at Highmark, 28-21. Sean, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I will.
This might be an all-time quote again.
Nah, I'm not gonna all time it because I don't want to get ahead of myself because Lord knows they own us. Like we know that we're owned in January, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. However, I would be reacting to this game to say the same if we beat the Chiefs or if we beat, one of the top teams in the NFC. Um, I just think it's very good that the Bills finally won a game against. I shouldn't say finally. I mean, the Ravens were still considered a good team week one, but the Bills proved that they're still, top of the league. They just beat, a Chiefs team that coming into this game was the hottest team in the NFL.
Yep.
I just think you saw a lot of their defensive investments show up today. Cole Bishop with probably his best game of his career so far, just flying all over the field. If he can do that on a weekly basis, he'll, quickly soar up those safety rankings. Maxwell Hairston, huge interception.
Yeah, he's going to be really good.
First game in Highmark, the guy was running toe-to-toe with Xavier Worthy, who might be the fastest receiver in the NFL. Hairston, if he can stay healthy, I hope he's not another injury-riddled career. Hairston could be elite if he stays healthy.
He's looked really
good. Joey Bosa, absolutely incredible game. These types of games are what we brought him in for. And man, he was terrorizing Mahomes last night.
Yeah,
he was picking on Jawan Taylor. I mean, not that Jawan Taylor is very good by any means.
Oh, yeah, but still, it's a really good game from Joey Bosa.
Bosa was absolutely all up in his face. Josh Allen, super efficient.
Yep.
I think that was his best completion. I think it's the best completion percentage in Bills history, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's a little bit inflated. I'll be a little bit, transparent as a Bills fan. A lot of these passes he was throwing a lot of checkdowns and screens, but they were working like Shakir and, certain guys were incredible after the catch. So, I'll take that all day. But he was taking some shots to guys like Kincaid. Had a really nice pass to Dawson Knox as well. And Josh Allen had a great game. James Cook, the engine that keeps this offense going again. First 100-yard rusher against the Chiefs, and I believe since last year, like beginning of the year last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of just proved can abandon the run game in the playoffs. Let James. I touched on this on my TikTok previously to the game. Let James cook until he literally cannot function anymore. He had a great game. They kept going with him until they kind of started to slow him down a little bit. But really good win. Held Mahomes to, I believe, the worst completion percentage of his career.
Yeah, he was not good.
The Bills secondary needed a game like that. So not much of a run game for the Chiefs, which I think helped the Bills a little bit because obviously our run defense is not good. But I think this was a great get back game, 6-2, heading into a game against the Dolphins, which we better win, or else I'm going to be upset. But yeah, great way to get back on track.
Yeah, I mean, my main takeaway from this week kind of is the two leading MVP candidates in Mahomes and Drake May kind of took a step down, and Darnold and Stafford kind of evened out with them. So I think it's a big race now for the MVP. But Mahomes was just straight up not good in this game. I'm just gonna be honest, he wasn't. Shout out to Cole Bishop, by the way. I thought he was pretty good in this game. I thought he had a really good game. And Sean, like you said, I understand yes, the passes might be screens or checkdowns, but if it's working, there's no reason to go away from it. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
Yeah.
But he took his shots when he needed to, too,
exactly.
when he was hitting them.
So don't go away from it. I will say one thing of concern about the Bills. What's going on with Keon Coleman, man? I don't think he's ever going to be a consistent part of the offense. I'm talking a just per game basis. You know what I mean? He's got to have games where he's okay, there's Keon Coleman, and then he's gonna have other games like that where he's kind of invisible. And I understand it wasn't everybody eats game for Joe Brady. but I don't know. But I don't want to talk about negative. Dalton Kincaid, me and Sean talked about this offseason, how big of a year it was for him as a first round pick, and he's having a really good year. I've been really impressed with how Dalton Kincaid's played so far. Joey Bosa, like you said, you brought him in for games like that. I think he had like how many pressures did he have? Like I think he had
I
like
think he had I think he had 12.
that's what I was gonna say. I think he had 12 pressures.
It might have been 13. It was right around there.
I think he had 12 pressures. Cook, awesome again. Kincaid, great. And Josh Allen, super efficient. It's probably the best passing game Josh has had all year, maybe besides the Ravens game in week 1. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I just feel like
As a whole, I mean, in that Ravens game, he wasn't really playing bad, I'd say, but like he was obviously forced to sling the ball around at the end of the game when they were down by a lot. So that kind of made his stats look really good. But like as a whole game, this week was definitely the best he's looked.
yeah. So really good win for the Bills, but like Sean said, all that matters is January. But on the other hand, Chiefs, like I understand people are super high on this team still, which they should, but it's like this team's 5-4. Like they're not in the playoffs right now. Like
But
we
it's the Chiefs.
I know, but and we can keep like predicting, okay, they'll be, but like they need to start winning games. You know what I mean? Like they
They do.
can't. And as even if the Chiefs are the 7th seed, like it doesn't matter because
No, you don't want to face them.
but like, and they will get in, like they will, but you know,
Mahomes had a quote after the game that I thought was really important for their sake. He said, I don't know the exact quote, but he said like you can only take so many lessons out of losing. You just like eventually you have to start winning.
yeah,
And like they've lost 4 games out of 9 games, which is uncommon for them. And like they're obviously like learning lessons, but at some point they have to turn into wins. Like they don't have a
exactly.
choice.
It seems like after every loss, like okay, they'll be like it's like you like okay, like you got to
Yeah.
start winning, dude.
And
But
it's the Chiefs. They'll figure it out,
they will.
obviously. You know,
Yeah, they're too
they'll
good of
still
an
be
organization.
they'll still be the most feared team in the playoffs, I'm sure, but they got to figure it out, which I'm sure they will.
100%. But that's going to do it here for episode 5 of NFL Week 9 reactions. And like I said, me and Sean are going to be going live tomorrow too for a little bit shorter of an episode, probably some, some segments in there, trade deadline reaction. Cause as we know, trade deadline tomorrow at 4 p.m. Really, really big opportunity for some teams to make some moves. We'll see if any of me and Sean's teams make moves or just any teams in general make bigger moves. I doubt it'll happen. But again, we're going to have a show tomorrow night. We're going to recap it all for you guys. Make
Trade
sure to go
deadline is at 4 p.m.
Yes, sir. Make sure to go follow
Eastern.
Sean at Buffalo. Best time zone. Make sure to go follow Sean at Buffalo Banter, TikTok, X, what have you, Instagram. You post great content. And me on TikTok, Matt Cabral, and on X as well. So thank you guys for tuning into episode 5, and we will see you guys tomorrow night for the trade deadline episode.